Welcome back to Creepy Joints. Thanks for joining us again this evening. We're on to part 3 already of this series, and if you've not seen the other 2, check them out. Part 3, I could be talking about trilogies, but I'm not. I'm talking still about the films that have stuck with me and that have disturbed me for years. Films that you can't forget. How could you forget them when they caused so much trouble when they first come out? I mean, notoriously bad. Some of them are still gruesome today. Some of the films tonight I'm talking about got people locked up, caused a lot of fuss at the time, so we're going to be checking them out, obviously. Stay with us, because I'll be unboxing an absolutely superb release last off, one of my favourites, and it's a real grindhouse, nasty film from back in the day. And here we have an absolute real nasty. 1980, Joe D'Amato, or Joe D'Amato, you say D'Amato, I say D'Amato, I don't know, is fetched out a film that you can't pronounce the name right. I'll have a go. Anthropophagus, a lot of people say, the Beast. Collectors and people that like horror films call it Anthro. That's easier for me as well. I'll go with Anthro, shall I? Oh my word. I've got a story to tell you about this. I rented this from Swinton Video and I had no idea what it were. I watched it and it were due back. I thought, I can't believe this film is so gross. So I fetched my mate John round.
One by one, he tracks them down.
It were easy for me, dead easy, to get friends at school, because we had a fish and chip shop, right? And all my friends became really good friends when they knew they could come round for tea, because they got fish and chips for free, really. So I was a popular kid growing up, and also a probably interesting character to know at school, because I used to have most at Video Nasties, if not rent most and watch them, and have friends round. So this particular story, John ordered and got the finest chips, battered sausage and curry sauce for his tea. We went into the living room, which was the back of the fish and chip shop. I put the VCR on. He says, what we're watching? Can we watch a horror? I said, of course, yeah. So we watched Anthropophagus, the Beast. There's a scene in this film where the Beast loses a little bit of his stomach. His intestines come out, right? And it's as gross as it sounds. Director of the film used the local butchers in Greeks for all the fresh meat to help bolster his special effects, his practical special effects. You could smell it on screen. It looked absolutely vile. So it gets into a situation. His innards come out. And what do you do when your innards come out? They're in your hand. You know what I mean? What are you going to do? Well, he eats them. John threw up. John put his sausage and chips down and threw up in room. He had to run out of room, holding his mouth. I says, well, you wanted to watch it, pal. And he's never forgiven me. Years and years and years later, he's never forgiven me. He laughs about it still. And he thinks I'm weird, which I am, which is great. Yeah, hey up, John. It's so creepy as well. It's a nasty that one nasty, and it probably still is. It's only just been released in 2000s. I don't know if it was something like 2018 over here by 88 Films, and they've done a brilliant release. The video itself goes for daft money. The preset video will go for in excess of 100 quid all day long. I've seen it go up to nearly 1,000. The film by 88 Films, the release is now in 4K, I believe. And if you were quick on the 88 Films website, you could get the original artwork of the boxes as the slipcover for the 4K editions and Blu-rays. You have to be really quick. So if you've got one of them, hang on to it, because that's going to be worth quite a bit of cash. The look of the guy here, the cannibal, the actor, I think it was George Eastman. George Eastman, yeah, it says on here, cheated. George Eastman had a big part to play in it, in the makeup of it, and I think he did some of the screenwriting for the part as well. So a good all-rounder, good effort, and it is a freaky-looking cannibal. It does come as a cannibal, and it is sort of classed as a cannibal, but it's got this weird slasher vibe to it, this Greek or a slasher vibe, and I like that. I like that when you watch films like this, you're transported, aren't you, to a different country, a different continent. Back in time, you see all the different sets and things, and what the clothes, the actors, the characters are wearing. It absolutely, I love going back in a time machine and watching these films. UK tabloids, it all kicked off around 1983 with this on VHS. They were big on clamping down. One of the UK tabloids called it the sickest film ever made.
The Grim Reaper.
Customs officers in the UK seized hundreds of these videos in around 1983. So I often wonder what happens to them if they're not destroyed, or, you know, are we saying, is it like E.T., you know, that video game they did, E.T., Atari did it, and it didn't go very well, but they made millions. They buried him, didn't they? I wonder if they buried Anthropophagus the beast. I wonder if he'll come back. In a way, he does. Which leads me to my next film, and I might as well go on about it. Joe DiMatteo's film again, another one. You know what it is. Absurdly enough, absurd. Came about in 1981. This film again, Joe DiMatteo. George Eastman again writes the screenplay, is the bad guy, and does the makeup. He's some boy, isn't he? I remember thinking that this was somehow connected, and correct me if I'm wrong. Listen, I'm no expert on these films. I just love them. I know I love them. I'll get some things wrong. I get some things right, but who cares, right? I'm just trying to show my passion and trying to sort of invoke some of my memories and remember some of the things. I remember absurd, brutally shocking, violent, savage, it says on back, not for the squeamish. I do remember it. I do remember it being a good film, but it didn't feel like part two, which gets me a bit confused regarding this. It's not Anthropophagus 2. It's absurd. It stands alone. It's got some brilliant set pieces in it. It's another film really worth watching and seeking out. Another film that 88 films have re-released and done a superb job of the transfer. 4K. You'd never believe that you'd get to see films like this again, and they come about in 4K. This again upset everybody when it came out. I mean, everybody that rented it, it were a good one to rent. It caused a lot of fuss again. So confiscation, 1983, boom, get on the list. You're coming with me, absurd. They didn't like it. They wanted it gone. The censors didn't like it. So yeah, absurd. Originally written and starred George Eastman, marketed in some territories, like I say, as Anthropophagus 2, so a sequel to this film, but it's not really Anthropophagus 2. It was filmed craftily and quickly using another film set off the back of the filming of Porno Holocaust. That is a film worth watching. It's not what you think, but it's a good film. The Daily Mail, I think it was the Daily Mail, the tabloid in the UK, branded it an insult to the censors. The censors were insulted, all right. Aye. Yeah, the tone of this film feels, again, a bit slasher. It kind of echoes Halloween 2 by the choice of some of the scenery that they've used, certainly. And I think Fangoria magazine sort of described it as similar to Fulci's work and Carpenter's work. This sits somewhere in between. And I wouldn't deny that. I wouldn't deny that. For me personally, not as much fun as a Fulci film, but considering the impact this had, I would strongly advise watching Absurd and Anthropophagus the Beast before that. There is an Anthropophagus, I can't say it. Anthropophagus. There is an Anthro 2000, and I'll have to re-look at that one because I do not believe I've watched a decent copy of it, and I can't remember it. And that's either a good thing or a bad thing with me, because I do watch some bad films and I watch some really good bad films. I'll have to look into that, and that's probably for another session. But yeah, Absurd, Anthropophagus. That's easy 500 quid's worth there, sat there on VHS. Just go to 88 Films. Get yourself to 88 Films and get these bought. Buy both of them. Save on postage. Entertainment's there. I love Greek horror. I love. One of my favourite films is a Greek horror film, Island of Death. Got a big respect for it. I love Euro horror because, again, you feel like you're going away on holiday. Only back in time to when it were good. 70s and 80s. Brilliant. Abel Ferrara again. 1981. MS-45, starring Zoe Lund. Brilliant actor, but she were only 17 when filming this. And she insisted on holding a proper 45. And she did all that work herself. And phenomenal. And recently I found out that Zoe Lund, bless her, she tragically passed at about 37 years old. But she read the screenplay for Bad Lieutenant. So she was a very, very talented actor and very talented person indeed. This is a really good film. This is not like, oh, it's just got a few gags in it, or it's just a brutal film with lots of effects. No. It's a notch up from Driller Killer, is this one. This is a brilliantly made film. It feels like you're wandering the streets of New York. I think it was set in New York. But I got this on Betamax and I really enjoyed it. I didn't know what to think of it. I didn't rent it back in the day. It didn't appeal to me for some reason. But I got it in a bulk sale of Betamax because I still have a Betamax player and I like to watch them now and again. And it had no box, just a tape, and it just said MS-45. And then I realised, hang on a minute, I'm sure that's Abel Ferrara. Give it a go, and I was blown away. I mean, quality on Betamax were great, but then I got it on Blu-ray, and it was just fantastic. Anyway, fast forward, like collectors do, this dropped through, I think it was last week or the week before, the MS-45 special 4K by Arrow Video. So we'll have a little look at this, because it's fresh, and it's still available, I believe. So you get a slip cover, and a nice hard box to protect your Blu-ray, and you also get notes and things, I believe. So let's have a look. So yeah, MS-45, that's the original artwork. You've got a redone art cover as well. You just turn sleeves over, don't you? 4K Ultra Blu-ray, limited edition. It's got loads of good features on here. Loads of good features. I need to see it again, and I need to watch the features again. So I like these hard cases. A nice booklet. It's a cracking film, you know, this. The way it's shot, it's brilliant. And a lot of people slated it when it first came out, and it got a lot of bad press. But it's kind of like being discovered later as like an empowering feminist type film. I don't know if you'd make it that way yourself, but each to their own. But I just love the film. I think the film's brilliant. Yeah, a nice book here, and a nice poster. That's the cover I remember. But that's a lovely image as well. It's striking, isn't it? The reds and the lipstick. But what a great film, man. MS-45. Abel Ferrara is so underrated, you know. Brilliant. New York Times wrote a piece about it and dismissed it as nothing more than grisly, I think they called it, street theatre. But that's why it's really good. Because it feels like you're watching something real. You know, it's well shot. Pacing's really good on it. Fantastic ending that I'll not spoil for you. I would fully recommend MS-45. I think Abel Ferrara refers to it as a female taxi driver, a female version of Taxi Driver. And it's got that vibe, but yeah, I really do. I do prefer this. I do prefer it to Taxi Driver. I think I've seen Taxi Driver way too many times, and this nowhere near enough. Get it bought on Arrow, MS45, cracking film. And that's us, I think, for this one. I really appreciate everybody that's subscribed to the channel. Hit that like button. I know I'm that guy telling you to like stuff. It's awkward, isn't it? But I do want the channel to grow. I want to continue doing these volumes. When I can't get out and about, this is what I love doing. Thank you very much for watching. Really do appreciate that time. Please put it in comments. Have you seen any of these films, or is it just for different people like me? There's loads here that's seen them. There's loads that's collected them. What's your favourite? What do you reckon to this MS45 release? I think it's absolutely bang on me. Absolutely brilliant. And yeah, the 88 films releases in 4K of Anthro and Absurd are incredible. Have you watched Faces of Death? Has anybody watched Faces of Death out there? What do you reckon? I wonder what a new generation would like about Faces of Death. I might just put it on for Leo and tell him it's real. I can't do that, can I? No, he knows it's not real. So, yeah. Thanks for letting me indulge in this. Long may it continue. Get in comments. Tell me which ones you want to see next. Which Nasties. I might not have got them. You might be putting me on something that I don't know about, which would be brilliant. Take care, everybody. Thank you. Cheers. All the best.